New York.
Welcome to Bogside Chats, where we're talking everything Defikingdoms and keeping it casual. My name is Matty Pest. Tonight, as always, I am joined by Franz. Bud, how are we doing?
Doing great. Just cooked a lovely dinner. I had a little steak, a lot of asparagus, and you know what that means.
What?
Makes your pee smell.
What?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, it makes your pee asparagus. It make chat. Anyway, makes your pee smell like really potent.
I don't think I've ever experienced that.
You got to eat more asparagus. It's good for you.
I guess so. All right. So we got some big news. So first off, we pushed our usual night. We're Wednesday night here live because we knew the team was doing this announcement where they were going to talk about some new game developments,
and definitely not because the Rangers played last night.
And definitely not because the Rangers played last night. That's not why we changed the schedule. But they had 2 p.m. Bolon and Hubert went live and talked for like an hour and 45 minutes about voting, about a new burn mechanic, about some stuff that's happening in the future. I have listened to it twice now, and I got a lot of thoughts on it. I'm pretty excited about it. We're definitely going to probably talk about that the whole bulk of the time we're chatting tonight. There was some other stuff in the community that I definitely want to maybe hit on at the end. I think Francie said maybe you got to summon. There was another community group that is hosting a community event that we probably should touch on at some point, but we'll see if we have time at the end for that. But for now, I think we got to jump right in to the stuff that Bolon and Hubert shared today. What do you think?
Well, no. So I did want to talk about the blow token real quick.
Shit! Yeah.
For anyone who hasn't, if this is the only DFK stream you watch, which I don't think that's the case, so you all know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Christian Peter has started a meme coin. It's really cool, a little different than some other meme coins. It is. I don't have a lot of information on it, but he has been on a lot of podcasts doing it, talking about it. Definitely read up on it, hear what he has to say about it, make your own decision as to how you feel about it. Meme coins they can be tough sometimes, but we all like him and all think he's.
I love you saying take caution. You're saying take caution on a meme coin.
Well, no, because Sticks is in the chat, not Sticks intern, the other Sticks.
Oh, the boss is in the chat.
I trade a lot of meme coins with him. He can attest. A lot of them go straight to zero, and you're like, this is the one. I got it. Yeah. And not to say that that's going to happen here. Right. I think it has some really unique stuff about it, but go check it out. The token generation event is next week, I believe. So, yeah.
And you can exchange or sell or burn bloaters.
I didn't want to get into it because I don't know all the specifics, but yes, you could trade in bloaters that you fish, that you catch.
That's cool.
The token, there's a token buyback with the LP where trading fees are going to be used to buy tokens. Create a little buy pressure there. It's got a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, listen to KP talk about it because he knows best. All right, let's get to the other stuff.
Yeah, he's been on a couple. He was on with Emerson and why am I drawing blank? Worm, and then was on with Mythic Squad. He's doing his own stuff, so he's definitely getting the details out there. And it sounds like it could be a lot of fun, but also it is a meme coin, so
And also, as Sticks is saying, buy Bearcat. So that goes up a little, and me and him can sell and get out of it.
Wow, you're just saying the quiet part out loud, huh?
Everybody needs a little exit liquidity in their lives. No, let's get to the. There's a lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about. All right, so they said they were going to do this. This was pretty cool. I didn't realize it was going to be so much alpha. Like they just unload. They just had Hubert just like unload on everybody in our faces. It was excellent. I do want to touch on at the beginning. This was sort of the first half of or not even half, first fourth of what they talked about was voting, and then specifically voting on Gen Zero cooldown summon, something that we've discussed at length. I think I will also give a shout out to Mythic Squad. I will say this: when they had Hubert on like a month ago ish, and Hubert dropped a ton of stats and information on that podcast a while ago about the Gen Zero summoning and how quickly it could get out of hand right now, like with the current cooldown situation. And let me tell you, after hearing that, I was already pretty convinced, but after hearing Hubert talk about it on that one, then sorry, I got distracted by a message from Raf on Discord just now. But
no, sorry, keep rambling. I think you're only at like a minute and a half.
Yeah. I'm in support of Gen Zero summon cooldown being increased. And basically that vote is going to come out soon. There's like one other vote they want to do prior to that. What are your thoughts on the voting conversation they had and like voting actually happening soon?
Yeah, I'm very excited. We've been talking about voting and our desire for community input for a while now. And it was no secret that the Gen Zero cooldown is what we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
There'll be other votes. There are some other votes that we can touch on as well.
Yeah.
That's all well and good as the community or as the team sees fit to put something in front of us. I think we should take full advantage of that and use our voting power. But the Gen Zero cooldown's the big thing. And it seems like we're finally getting to it. So I'm excited. Yeah, it's something that Hubert seems to be very behind. If anyone didn't listen to the very end today, Bolon and Hubert both talked a little bit about why they think that the cooldown should still be changed even with all these new burn mechanics that they introduced. So it's something that still should be top of mind for everyone and, rock the vote. Vote or die.
100%. Although, wasn't P. Diddy behind that? So, like, maybe not.
Was he?
Yeah, he was, like, all about that in, like, the early 2000s. He, like, ran that campaign.
Was he, like, one of the celebrities? Like, I know LeBron was big on the vote or die.
Yeah, all right. Anyways, I'm excited for them to get it in action. And then this was, like, last week or something. Fox did tease the, like, it will be in-game. It'll come up on, the screen. It'll say, like, to vote here and like click on a thing. So I'm very excited for that to be sort of an in-game feature and people can actually just click and vote like very easily while they're doing quests or whatever. I think it's gonna be super cool and also I'm excited for them to actually to address stuff like hero inflation and some, and the other thing that what they talked about was voting rights, which I'm kind of like whatever. I don't care how much heroes count for voting rights, as long as they're included. I don't really care what the actual numbers are. But yeah, I think I'm pumped up for votes. We've been saying this on this podcast a while. We want more votes. Let's vote about everything to a certain degree. So I think it's all good news.
Yeah, no, it is. The vote about how we're going to count votes, I think is interesting because, I think everyone's going to vote a little selfishly there.
Sure.
If you don't have a lot of heroes, are you really going to be voting for more? Or, excuse me, if you don't have any Gen Zeros or land, are you going to vote for those to have kind of increased power? Probably not. Maybe you'll think about it altruistically and kind of,
right.
That might be the right word there. And, do vote how you think it should be, maybe. But we'll see how that goes. To me, it's let's just get the vote going.
Yeah. Do you think there was something they talked about that they and talking about why they want heroes to count for a certain percentage of the vote? The suggestion that someone could just buy up a bunch of Jewel and then stake it as C Jewel or S Jewel and affect how that happens. I don't really feel that that's like a legitimate issue because the way the S Jewel and C Jewel works, like, you're losing so much value if you're trying to do a quick turnaround on it. Like
you can lock it up for like a 2-week period.
Right, but that seems insane to me because you lose a bunch of your voting. If that's what you're trying to accomplish, you lose a ton of your voting rights doing that.
Oh, I get what you're saying because if you lock it up for the 3-year term, you get more of a kind of weighted. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. I guess
I would say I like heroes having more weight because in the end, while the C Jewel and the S Jewel and the actual holders of Jewel are very important to the ecosystem,
right,
the heroes are the ones playing the game. And especially if we're going to be voting on things that are, leaning more towards game type things like hero cooldowns. Should be the gamers that decide. Power to the gamers. There's another slogan. We're just throwing
power to the skillers of the world. The gamers.
Interesting
comment by SI. You could just do that with buying heroes. You could just buy. It'd be easier. In fact,
a little harder in and out.
I mean, yeah, you gotta you lose.
They're individual NFTs. You have to. It's not as easy to kind of get rid of them all. But yeah, you could.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe I'll sweep the floor.
I hope that people aren't worried about whales coming in and manipulating stuff. I really don't think that's I just don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. But one thing I did write down that I thought was interesting was, and I might be a little off on these numbers, but basically one of the big topics that Hubert talked about in regards to voting and the Gen 0 cooldown, he said if we change the Gen 0s, it's close to 50 or 60% difference in the hero production, where if you didn't change the Gen 0s and just did Gen 1s, it's only a 5 to 7% difference. So changing the Gen 0s is how the hero population changes. And I felt like that was a very clear message. I think Hubert has done a good job of this since that original request for comment where they didn't really express what they're trying to say or do. I think he's done a very good job since then to say we need to change Gen 0 summons because that's how the sort of population can get back in control, I think.
They're the genesis kind of. That's where the heroes all come from. It's where was I going to go with that? I completely lost my train of thought, but yeah, I don't want to spend too much time.
No, I'm ready to move on.
The cooldown vote. I will be voting for the 14-day and then the 7-day. That's
I want to see. I in the proposal before I could say something like that, but yeah.
Okay, sure. No, that's what I was going to say was that I did hop in. I watched it on delay, and you lose the live chat in the replay. But I did hop in at one point, and there were a lot of people in the comments saying don't nerf Gen 0s, and I think the term nerfing Gen 0s is kind of not super accurate because it's going to make those 10 of 10s more valuable. So have fun collecting your 20-cent profits right now at a quicker pace. It's going to help the entire ecosystem. So
no, 1,000% agree. I don't think. I guess I understand where you're coming from when you say nerf Gen 0s, but that's not what's happening. I think that's a mischaracterization of what this would do. But let's move on from that and get into the real fun stuff here. New burn mechanic. Before we get into all the details, want to kind of touch on timeline. Basically, PvP is number one, as they've said a million times again. Getting out the PvP in the Coliseum on Metis is the number one priority. That's what they're doing. Obviously, we don't have an exact date or months that it's going to come out, but in my mind, we're still at 6 months, hopefully, that comes out. And then they said this feature, this Transcending and Divine Essence, will be soon after the release of PvP, or I don't know if they said soon after. I don't know how they phrased that, but it will be after PvP release. So everything we talk about here from here on out is still a pretty far ways out from being implemented. Any thoughts just on timeline stuff? Are we jumping the gun even talking about this right now? Maybe.
I mean, so I don't know how much I've said on stream, but I don't love how we announce these things so far ahead of when they come out. I think they talked about it a little bit at the end, and on this one, I think there is good reasoning. They mentioned hey, it wouldn't really be fair to have this vote on cooldown without having all the information about what's coming. So I'm there. I get it. Different story in Expeditions that we've been hearing about for 6 months and maybe didn't need to know 6 months ago, but that's not the topic of tonight.
Right.
It's. I think you were saying it before. It needs to be a tight timeline though with PvP drops. Do we want I don't know, maybe we do want 3 or 4 months of PvP without this, without people getting to reroll their heroes and things like that. Would that benefit some of us that have been here? I think it might. Would it be the worst? I don't know, but I think I'd like to see kind of a tight timeline of PvP drops. They kind of get that first stage rolled out, and then they roll into this rather quickly.
I agree. And I think we'll talk about all the stuff they go through. The features they're talking about don't necessarily have to be ready, but just the process of transcending your hero and getting the divine essence. I think if that process is in place, and then sort of like how void shards are right now, you just kind of collect them. I think if that was put in place, I'd be happy. Even if the stuff, the item upgrades, the level up rerolls or the level reset, even if that stuff isn't quite ready yet, if we can at least do it and collect the divine essence, I'd be happy.
Yeah, shout out to Bravi in the chat. He's already here gloating a little bit. He got a big win today with PJs.
Yeah, I mean we'll get to it, but PJ Hero.
The meme, the "We did it, Joe," the Kamala Harris. Yeah,
yeah.
That was what I was picturing him.
Yeah. He got his phone. And he called. I don't know who, but he was like, "We did it."
No, but I did buy up 2 PJ Heroes. Right.
Oh yeah.
Announcement. We can get. I mean, what do you have next? Do we want to kind of roll into some of?
I was gonna just follow up what they went through, and go through it.
Okay.
If you're okay with that, so we'll talk about why the PJs are so important a little bit later, actually. But first things first, I want to kind of. I know it's going to be kind of repetitive, but what's happening is there's a new burn mechanic called transcending, where your heroes are going to get burned. And in exchange for burning those heroes, you're going to get a new, I actually question on this, token? It's a token, not an NFT, correct?
ERC 20, it's divisible. You can have like 4.3.
Right, there's decimal, called Divine Essence. And then there's also going to be a kind of elevated version that's called Greater Divine Essence. And there's specific reasons why you get one or the other. But those are going to be 2 separate. They're both going to be the same, but they're going to be 2 separate kind of new tokens that you can earn. At the same time, when you're transcending / burning your heroes, you're also potentially going to get void shards. Talk about that in a little bit. Why you'll get those, but you're also going to get the lesser attunement crystals, which is very interesting. And I'm going to be calling that the Grady rule, which is interesting for people that have spent on crystals on their heroes in the past, that now want to kill them. So you get this new token called Divine Essence, and I think the key thing are the new features. Go to the next slide. That was like the most exciting one, I think.
I'm trying to think the best way to do this. We did request the actual slides, and told us to go screw in nicer words.
Yeah.
So we're doing it this way. Is this what we want?
Yeah. So once you have this Divine Essence and this Greater Divine Essence, these are the things you're going to be able to do with it. Item upgrades, which are super cool. Basically, your Shuvas can become Mokashas. Your regular stones can become Greater Stones. Your crystals can become normal or greater. Like you can upgrade all of your things to the higher tiers. It's a very exciting feature.
Hot take about that.
That's one of my favorites.
Can I hot take on it?
Okay, yeah.
It should be part of the crafting. That should be like an alchemy type thing.
I mean, who's to say it's not? I mean, it might be. I don't know. What do you mean?
I saw that as like that's like a crafting type exercise. Like we're taking these items and making them into better items. I don't know.
It is. I think that's what they're doing. I don't understand what you're.
But I think it should be something that's kind of fit into the crafting with like I was thinking the alchemist, the alchemy crafting skill kind of playing into that. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, go on.
All right. But there's like formulas for it. It's like 16 Shivas make a Mokasha. Like they have like a formula for it.
Can you say it right, please?
So I don't know why. Whatever.
All right.
Level up re-rolling. Basically, if you had a bad level up, you can immediately re-roll using Divine Essence. Love it. No notes. I love it. It's true. Level reset is wild. So this one you have to have the greater, which is like the more rare of the two things. But basically, you'll be able to bring your hero back to level 1 and restart all your level ups. What do you think about this? This is wild.
Well, so I just want to say rest in peace to my Super Dex Archer being the highest Dex Archer in the game. He now has no chance of that because he's just legendary. A Mythic will hold that title in the future. I mean, Tad's Mythic Archer is going to pass mine any day now, so that's kind of out the window anyway. But yeah, it's, you know, as long as you have the money to spend, because, you know, we don't know the price of the we don't know the price of these Divine Essence, you know.
Well, you can kind of
items yet, but they'll.
But it's pricey, and also like you can for the re-rolling, for the level ups and the reset, you can do it multiple times, but the prices get crazy if you do it like multiple times. And finally, equipment restoration, which super interesting about equipment restoration. I feel like they shared more information about equipment than like they've ever shared, with this like little like thing. But basically, with Divine Essence, you'll be able to re-up your durability depending on like where your equipment is at, which I think is like super interesting. They also talked about something they call equipment dust, which they didn't give a lot of details, but I'm like, this is super cool. I love it because I feel like a lot of games have that where it's like, you know, junk weapons, you just dust it, like that's fine.
Well, so they had talked about that before in terms of turning it into a visage, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this was the first time that I recall them saying that that dust could be used in other crafting. So I thought that was very cool. You know, how that play out, I don't know, but I do like that it seems like Hubert's kind of understanding and his definition of crafting is starting to evolve a little bit, and we're starting to get, because that's how you know a feature's getting closer, when he starts talking about it with more confidence in different aspects of what it'll do and what it'll be like. So
he starts using like the terms and stuff, like, you know, he's like confident to like say that. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Again, that's something we've talked about, timeline and stuff. Like, I don't think durability is going to be live for Metis PvP, but
Maddie, I'm going to stop putting comments on the screen if you pause what you're saying to read them every time.
I love that. All right. So Worm, that is somebody who fucking follows our podcast and knows us very well. That's a deep cut. I love it.
I'm just going to reply in chat from now on.
Yeah, that's probably better. All right. I want to change order a little bit here because they talk about the hero score next. And the hero score is important, but it's like a lot of math. And I don't know.
Yeah, to be clear, we're not doing math tonight.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing
the big picture. The big picture of what was discussed.
Basically, there's a bunch of formulas that your hero score will determine how much divine essence or greater divine essence you will get when you burn the hero or transcend, whatever the verb is. Mm-hmm. And your class, your rarity, your level, and summons remaining are all going to increase that hero score. And there's very specific formulas that smarter people are going to help us out with later and tell us what's the best. But I mean, safe to assume higher class, higher rarity, higher level, you're going to get more hero score in it, then you're going to get more divine essence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's fair to say. And honestly, it sounded like, I'm not going to lie, it sounded like the commons are going to get shit. Which I'm fine with. That's fine. Yeah, exactly.
But throw a lot, all right. So this is the way that I was kind of hearing the hero score, right?
Yeah.
And again, not exact numbers. I didn't analyze the numbers that he put out there, but I can get X amount if I put a Mythic Dread Knight in, and I can get a lot.
Yeah.
I could also get that same amount if I throw in 300 commons, 400, whatever the number ends up being. It's probably more than that, but I'm saying like that's where I see the population really getting cut, because those commons, they have no value, like essentially no value.
I think this is maybe a discussion for a different podcast. Right now we're just kind of going through how this all works now, but I think there's going to be a serious debate of whether you dark summon your commons or transcend them, or I don't know what the verb is, or use this new burn mechanic. Because I think I'd rather, if I have two commons that are trash that I want to maybe roll the dice on, I'd rather do that with a dark summon with two commons, hit on the rarity, great, than do this where you get not a lot of returns, you know?
Yeah.
But also Dark Summoning 2 commons, you don't get much either. I know.
Right. I end up with another hero that I don't want. And then you just sit there kind of Dark Summoning over and over again. And, you know, sometimes you hit.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see when it comes out, but I could see the chance to get this this dark essence, divine essence.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a key new token, I think, in the game. So
yeah, chat's having a good discussion about the reroll right now, and the idea of improving on your heroes to kind of get to that top level. This was something that I was talking to Effects and a few others in our guild chat about.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of this comes down to balancing, and I think it's easier to balance when you're bouncing off that top level and you know everyone has kind of a fair shake to get there, rather than balancing, especially on the PvP side. Because on the PvP side, matchmaking, assuming they have a good matchmaking system, kind of sorts that out.
Right.
But on the PvP side, it's harder. Yeah,
no, I agree. And also I think if this game is going to be alive like they want it to be and have a meta that's shifting, I think it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, are luck-based archers the best way to do it? Or are you going to say like, yeah, you know what, screw it, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to rebuild them to be a strength-based archer. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's going to be interesting, is if you have the funds and you have the divine essence to do it, is re-rolling one of your favorite heroes simply to follow the meta. I think will be very interesting. I mean, I don't know. That's not for everybody. Obviously, that's kind of something that you're going to have to be able to afford to do that, you know? So.
Well, right. And just saying the same thing here. Like, we all have a ton of archers that are leveled up for strength and endurance.
Right.
Knights that can't hit, you know?
Right, yeah.
But you don't have to do it with that same hero. It gets expensive when you do it with the same hero over and over again. You could take different shots with various heroes.
I understand what you're saying, but also one key thing that we're not talking about here is something that's not touched in any of this stuff with the burning, and it wouldn't be, it makes sense, is traits. So if you have a hero with a certain trait that you want, you know, especially I think double toxic archer or toxic archer with anything else, that's a hero that even if he rolled poorly, you don't want to kill. You want that hero almost no matter what. So I feel like a double toxic archer, if he just rolled poorly, or you know, you statted him out for endurance and strength when maybe those aren't the most important right now for archers, I understand totally wanting to do this.
Well,
I think
so. Funny story. I did that exact thing this past weekend. I had a double toxic warrior that leveled up fine, but his health was absolute garbage.
Okay. Yeah.
And there was a double toxic archer that leveled up poorly on the market, on the tavern, both legendaries. So I bought it, dark summoned them, and I got, with a greater finesse stone, and I got an archer out. So double toxic archer, legendary, very happy with it. But now looking back, it's like I could have just re-rolled.
Right.
You know, but in the same vein, you can't go back and put that stone on.
No.
So that's kind of the one caveat where it's still like the pit's not going to go dry now. Like, people are still have a reason to go to the pit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and going to the PJ topic, I don't know if I'm jumping topics on you here.
No, I was going to go to that next, of like the distinction.
Well, yeah, no. So the big thing, again, shout out Brovia, it's big for him. They keep that plus 15. A lot of those levels took place before crystals were added.
Yep.
Now you go back and you can greater crystal it from level 1. The one thing that you can't do, again, is put that stone on them. So
yeah, you're right.
Instead of you're getting a plus 15, but stoned heroes are getting a plus 8, and then they're also getting the actual percentage.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's great for PJ heroes that you can now kind of start over and stat the right way.
Yeah.
So, and traits. If you have a resurrection, if you have a double giant slayer, it's great. You can
any community group in our community that has been focusing on traits should be ecstatic right now. I don't know what groups may or may not have been doing that, but like, if there is a group in our community that's been focusing on traits with their heroes, like, they're going to be so happy with this. This is just great news.
Yeah. No, and Just makes a good point. Transcending and pitting mechanics work well together, because once you get that stone on them, something Tad and Raph were talking about in our guild chat, and maybe I'm talking a little too much about what's being said in guild chat now.
That's a secret.
So I'll stop after this, but Raph has a lot of legendary double giant slayers.
Right? Yeah, I know that.
Put them together once. You just have to hit that one time, get that stone on them, and then it's going to be pricey, but you can make sure that each of those levels that you get the stats, that you get the HP bonus that you want. You're going to spend, but you could have a great hero.
I'm going to bring up a comment from someone who loves going for traits. I think
never heard of him.
Yeah, never heard of him. I think if they included traits somehow in this equation, it would be very broken in my mind. It would be insane. Like to give value to that, it already has value. It has in-game value of those moves are going to be super powerful, right? They're going to slap. So I think if they included this here in the hero score, I think that would be completely broken. I think it was smart to not include it. I don't know if that was something they consciously decided, but I don't know.
I think you could say that it's the only one, if you had added it to this list, right? It'd be the only one that has a direct impact on in-game PvP, PvE play. These other things have.
So does this, hypothetically. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, rarity has an effect because it affects the stats, right? But the stats are what have that kind of in-game. I don't know. If you have a second life hero, does it really need more value? It has.
No, I agree. It doesn't. I think they had to exclude traits because it would be just, I don't know. There'd be a small percentage of it would be the chart. You want the chart to be proportionate of how you give value out. It would be insane if you included traits. You know what I mean? There'd be some specific few heroes that were giving you divine essence. Way too much.
You're assigning a very high value to it. They also could have assigned a smaller value to them. But I'd like to hear Hubert's answer to that. I think that'd be interesting. Hey,
why not include traits? Yeah. I'll ask that.
Yeah, I want you to
write it down. I'm going to write it down because I forget. I always say I'm going to ask him and I forget. I'm writing it down right now.
Well, you got your pad there.
Why no traits? And then also that meme with the guy that's why no traits? Yeah. All right. This is super fun. Yeah, we got to talk about this. This is probably I'm most excited about this aspect of it. This is going to just be fun for the entire community, and I feel for the game in general. The hero score multiplier. So again, we're burning our heroes to get this divine essence, and there's a hero score that will determine how much divine essence we get from the hero. There's going to be a multiplier if your hero is the first or first 5 to be burned in its various category. The categories are class, rarity, level, summon method, and realm of burn. It's a weird way to phrase that, but
no, basically the realm it's burned in.
The realm. You gotta say that. Say realm it's burned in. Anyways. Right. So if you are the first person to burn a level 10 common monk, you will get this 5 times multiplier. Now, again, we just talked about the hero score and how much divine essence you get and all the things you could do with divine essence. So multiplying it by 5 is going to be wild. So I think I'm kind of stressed out because on day 1, everyone's going to be burning like crazy to try and get one of their heroes into the top 5 of all these categories. There's just going to be a massive burning on the initial launch of this, which is fun, but also it's just going to be how fast can you click? You know what I mean? I'm actually curious how Zealous is going to do this with automating it, because it's going to be just everyone's going to want to burn, to be the first one to burn all these basic ones to get this 5 times multiplier. But the cooler part,
people will be planning it out.
Oh my God, yeah. But
and there are a lot of different combinations.
I know. More importantly than that, the fun part about this is kind of the longevity of it. So if nobody burns the specific hero for 30 days, sorry. First 5 get burned, the multiplier goes down to 0 or to 1. And then if nobody burns that hero in 30 days, it then starts to creep back up. So basically, there's going to be this like living ticker that's just like, a rare monk level 15 hasn't been summoned in 29 days, and you're going to be aware of it because it's going to be all on the blockchain, and we're going to be able to keep track of like what heroes are burned when, and we're going to be watching this like massive ticker of like all these different categories. What was the number that Zipper threw out there?
I don't know, chat. Does anyone have the number that Zipper said?
Zipper said like the numbers in like the multiple tens of thousands. So like there's going to be all these different streams of like, or streams is the wrong word, all these different like value multipliers that we could just watch simultaneously live, change in real time, and decide whether we want to burn if the value of the multiplier goes up. It's going to be so exciting. I'm pumped up about it. It's like day 28. No one has killed a legendary monk at level 16. It's super fun idea that like,
so
you got to find the weird combinations that like no one is burning.
Yeah, the only thing is we're not going to know what combination hasn't burned unless maybe someone who might be in chat that's really good at coding and blockchain started building a tracker for this right now so that it's ready to go.
I mean, I have to assume it's
going to be a very useful tool.
It's going to be they're going to put it available. Like, I feel like this is a Dr. Zipper special. I feel like this is like something he would be all about.
I don't know. I mean, do you think they've released that? I think that's got third party.
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Written all over it.
Yeah.
And maybe that someone would like maybe just give it to the guild and not
just give it to their guild and not the public at large. Yeah.
I don't know. No, but that'd be super useful to say like, okay, yeah, level 16 uncommon fisher monks haven't.
Right. Yeah. Whatever it is, whatever the weird combination is, like,
yeah,
it's super fun. And I think it's a global thing that's going to be like happening simultaneously to everybody. So it's like a fun kind of community thing. I think of like, oh man, have you seen this? Like, this one's at almost at 3.5. And it's like, what? No one's killed one of those in 50 days or whatever. Like, it's just going to be a fun thing that like we all can mess around with. And it also will be kind of a game of chicken, because it's like, if you have one of these and no one's killing it and you're like, ooh, how long am I going to wait? How long am I going to wait to get that maximum? But like, there's let's say there's 100 of this type of hero that exist and no one's killed it for like, 28 days. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so fun. I really love this idea. It's going to be really cool to have this global scale.
So I think that game of chicken that you're describing would be really fun, but that does, need some kind of tracking system. I think they mean for it more to be. They described it as Easter eggs, right? Or a treasure hunt. I think they said.
Yeah.
I think they want it to be just like, oh, you find out like you did when you did it. So, but an active community might feel otherwise.
I mean, I feel like I hope this information is in the blockchain. It is something that third party is going to work on, because I think it's super fun. And I'm super excited for that day one. When day one, everyone's going to be burning. Everyone's going to be burning so fast and so hard. Too burn, too fast. Fuck, I need to work on that joke.
Too fast, too burn.
Too burn.
Yeah, there's nothing there. There's something there, but
not that. Whatever I said.
No. Burn fast, burn furious.
Oh, that's better. That's way better.
Closer. Still not good though.
It's a good punch up.
All right, and we're on to attunement crystals.
Oh yeah, this is the Grady rule, right? This is the Grady rule.
The Grady rule. They should have just called it that.
They should have called it the Grady rule. So if you throw in a hero that prior used crystals and stones, you get more divine essence to pay for those crystals and stones. This is something that Grady talked for like an entire summer about this, where he was mad that like if you burned your heroes, you didn't get the payback on the stones and the heroes. I love it. This is great. It's the Grady rule.
Well, just a little context there. It was also during the deepest of the bear market winter. So there was like nothing else. Like if he was screaming about it now, it'd be easy to drown it out. There's a lot of other shit going on.
Yeah.
I If you were listening to DFK podcast, you were just listening to Grady talk about that for a good month and a half on end. So
yeah,
I can't wait to see his reaction to this.
Yeah. I love it. It's great. I mean, I don't even think no notes. Like this just gets added to the like it doesn't affect the divine essence that you're getting already. It's just added to the whole thing. So I love it.
Yeah, and it kind of it gives more incentive to kind of burn those. I don't know, like, all right, so I'm thinking of a scenario where I have this mythic archer, level 20, hasn't leveled great, so I'm going to do a reset on. On the reset, I'm going to reset a level or two on my way up. It's still not level and upgrade. Like, am I going to, as the price to reset gets higher, because I'm doing it multiple times, I think there's going to be like a very obvious break even where it's like, all right, I can get those greater stones back. I could try with another mythic. Like
fair, but here's the thing. And this is going to take a while for this to be fleshed out. You're getting back divine essence. We don't know what the kind of divine essence to jewel ratio will be, how easily divine essence is trading at any given time. So it's not like you're getting cash back for your.
Oh wait, I misread that. I thought you were getting the actual.
No, you get a divine essence payout. And we haven't even talked about this distinction, and we probably should a little bit. You're getting a divine essence payout per crystal that you is it per crystal that you used? Yeah.
I think we have to go into the math section for that.
Yeah, that's part of the math section, but it's but basically, yeah. I mean, you are getting paid.
What I just said still kind of plays.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's more steps to it than that, but yes, I agree. Yeah, and I'll say this real quickly right now. I kind of just want to throw this out there. There is a difference between dark summoned heroes and regular summoned heroes. Regular summoned heroes get divine essence and greater divine essence. Dark summoned heroes get divine essence and void shards. And there's sort of a formula that explains how that works, and they went through the numbers of how it works. And there's I want to talk about at the end. There's kind of some fun like lore reasons as to why this is happening that they sort of hint at. But basically, the dark summoned heroes do not have access to greater divine essence, which is sort of the more like elite divine essence token. But also you get those void shards if they're dark summoned, which whatever void shards, we don't know where those are going right now, but apparently they'll have value in the future, you know? So, but also something Brovia has talked about for a long time is he doesn't like dark summoning. He's exclusively, regular summon. So he's going to have a ton more greater divine essence than everybody else. If your hero collection is like all, standard summoning, you're going to have more greater divine essence.
Yeah. So Worm making a good question here. Do you not dark summon stoned heroes now? I think there's still obviously, situations where you would, but it's just more of that game theory where there are now more options. So dark summoning isn't really, I wouldn't call it a feedback loop. It's kind of a redo. Redo is not even the right word.
Yeah.
But this is more of a feedback loop as far as what you get back and the way it kind of works its way into the economy. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. There are more choices now is what I was getting at.
Yeah. And I think we need, honestly, I don't think we can kind of like assess this or have any hot takes. We need to see what void shards do. Like they've kind of laid out what divine essence is going to do. We've seen it, and it sounds cool. All the things, re-rolling.
I think we know what the void shards are going to do. They're going to unlock special hunts and special kind of the quests. It's going to be, and Just was talking about they'll be worth a lot less, which is probably good. Yeah. It kind of depends on those rewards.
But also, aren't they still soulbound? Like,
Yes.
I don't think like they have value. I mean, they do. I know.
Well, it's a way that you can get them without hunting now.
Yeah.
So, which is good for people who don't have as much time to play.
I find it interesting that they included void shards in this. I feel like I like the idea of a new token. I'm okay with that, and I don't know if I love void shards being kind of thrown in. I don't know. I don't know if I love that yet. We'll see.
Divine Essence not sold now.
It's not. They made a specific. They said that Divine Essence will be tradable and will be on the bazaar and or the market. So, which is kind of annoying then because the void shards are not, and they're supposed to be comparable.
Again, the void shards. The Divine Essence is part of kind of this feedback loop we're talking about. Mm-hmm. It's going to have all these use cases. The void shards unlock special content. Right. You know, it's. I still think they should have been. I'm not a fan of any soulbound tokens. It's,
Same. Yeah.
Free market. Let's have at it. If someone wants to come in and buy all my void shards so that they can kind of stick to the more interesting content with better rewards, it's going to cost them. But let me sell them. Like right now, right? And now we're getting into something totally different, so I don't want to like kind of go too far into this. But like right now, I'm being forced to wait for the next hunt for those void shards to be useful. If there's someone that's a bigger believer in that than me, let me sell them. Let me offload them. Like, don't force me to wait for that reward. But
I agree, 1,000%.
It's neither here nor there.
I mean, especially too, because the idea of like, oh, void shards will reward players for playing the game. Well, it's like, then let me sell them, because then I get rewarded. I get rewarded instantly. I get rewarded instantly for selling them. You know,
they haven't rewarded us yet for playing.
I mean, I can't even imagine what like some of the top people on the leaderboard are. Sorry, I'm just laughing too much. I don't even want to get into it right now.
Karrick has like, I think he has an absurd amount.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I think I've crossed 100.
I'm close to 50. I think I've mid 40s right now. So
I'll tell you right now if my inventory.
But yeah. So Skiller saying he's got 375. Or 367 with dyslexia there. That was bad.
I mean,
170. You what?
170.
170. Impressive. Very nice. I think I definitely. I don't know. The team made a decision. You know, whatever. That's fine. I don't like that they're soulbound, but I think that's how it is, and we're gonna have to deal with it. And it's one downer I would have on a lot of this, because I think all this is very good in general. This new burn mechanic, I'm super into it. I am a little kind of.
Well, we can't tell by the excitement. This is the most energy you've had on a pod.
I am amped up. I am pumped up.
Maddie's back, everybody. Here we go. We didn't do a void hunt today.
I was getting down, man, because everybody kept yelling at me. But, but yeah.
Besides just me and Guy,
I'm a little down because I don't love void shards. But other than that, I'm super pumped up about all this stuff. I want to keep going though, because I don't want to go too long, because I think SI does his stuff tonight, and I don't want to step on his time. But right, yeah, attunement crystals. You get the attunement crystals, love it. I want to mention the item upgrades, and I want to talk a little bit about the equations they gave. Did you see this slide? It's like, I think it's the next slide after this one. So basically, Divine Essence will be used to upgrade certain items. Most importantly, the runes. How do you pronounce that? Oh yeah, that's the ratio of what you get for dark
question. That's like a normal word.
Runes. It's runes.
There's no I. It's not runes.
No I. Like that's not like runes. Gotcha.
Now what's the one after Svas?
I forget. But I'll go to the ratio. Go to the page with the ratios of like 6 lessers become 1 normal, because I'm super excited about that.
No. Where?
No.
Where was that?
Oh, it's a little bit further, I think. It was that one. Yay. No. Yeah. This one. So item upgrades. This is super exciting to me. What was I going to say? I love this. I thought this, and I think you were trying to say this earlier, and I jumped on you, so I apologize. This should be a part of the game in general, of just, you can trade 6 lessers for 1 normal at any time. I think that'd be like a super cool function in general. But they kind of laid this out. I think this is great for especially Shavas and Mokshas. Like, this is ideal. But also the stones and the crystals are great too. Like, I love being able to, because it's very hard to come by some of these. So if
I'm more excited about the crystals and the stones, but more the crystals than anything else.
The crystals, really? I mean, yeah, because I do have a ton of crystals. I will say that.
Were you gonna let me say why?
But yeah, say why.
Because they're the only one that we can get in game from questing.
Right.
Those training quests, I'm doing a lot of them. I think everyone is, because if you have a good hero that's a miner, you're not gonna, there just aren't enough mining slots, right?
Yeah.
So now you can trade them up. They have a little bit of value now. Do they have a ton of value? No.
Right, but the fact that like I'm just super excited to see this is on the roadmap. This is something they want to do, is a system where you can upgrade your items. I'm super excited. I love it. I don't love some of these prices, especially greater divine essence, because that shit's expensive. Well, it's hard to get that.
That's what I was gonna kind of add there, is I don't know. Again, we have to see how the divine essence and the great divine essence it's kind of like a little ecosystem in and of itself, right?
Sure.
Because it has so many different use cases. Am I going to want to be using it for this? Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not the 6 lessers that I care about. It's not the 3 normals.
Right.
It's 1 divine essence when I can use that divine essence elsewhere or sell it. Like, is the price going to be so high that this is not going to make sense? I think that's
wow. A bot that could figure that out would be so cool. You know what I mean? Like, it was simultaneously able to either make this trade or sell the items on the general market, and like simultaneously do that, and like make the decision to be like, okay, it's better to make this trade and upgrade. Now it's better to actually sell the individual items, like value wise, like, and actively do it simultaneously. I think it would be very interesting.
Zealous essentially does that now, not with like an upgrading, because there's nothing exactly like this, but
right. That's what I mean.
Shoot him a DM, he'll cook it up quick.
Yeah, but I mean, you could sort of do the same thing right now with like the lesser stones when the guy is active, like same sort of thing. But yeah, and I remember Grady used to talk about that stuff back in the day when he was talking about like liquidity pools and like what's more efficient to should you store them or should you be making stuff or stuff like that, like but this just adds another wrinkle to that, adds another kind of layer, which is like super exciting. I don't know, I guess you don't seem as excited about this as I am. I'm pumped up about this, like being able to create normal and greater crystals and stones. I feel like has been hard, and especially mokshas have been super hard to get. So
no, they're expensive. That's where most of my jewel gets spent, right? It's not really on heroes as much. It's on these stones and these crystals. And when you have a good hero not using a greater crystal on it, it's a scary thing.
Yeah.
Do you need them? No, I think a lot of times, and I think since they implemented that little like icon that shows when the crystal actually helped, just
oh my god,
rare that is.
You
get some level ups, you'll get it on both the primary and the secondary were assisted by that greater crystal, and it's like it made sense. It's now, I would say, now that we can redo levels, I might use some regular crystals a little bit more.
Yeah.
Rather than greater.
No,
there's so much strategy that this is adding.
Yes.
And so many different ways to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was very ready to hate this. I'll say that. I'm a downer in general, just in life. I kind of thought this was going to be not the greatest thing. I was completely wrong. It's fantastic on all fronts.
Yeah, this is super fun. I love it. This is what you love in like MMORPGs, where like honestly you're sitting there like, should I trade my 6 crystals for 1 crystal? and your hero spent hours collecting them, and you have to make that decision. And yes, PvP and PvE I'm very excited about. I love trash talking. I love that stuff. But like also the part of RPGs that is more fun in my mind is like economy and making a decision, with your heroes and stuff like that. Like I love that, being like, oh, my hero's thing is he collects rocks. Like, this is his thing. Like, you know, like I love that. And so I think this is just leaning in towards that more. And it gets me so excited.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's going to be based off of the divine essence and if it's even worth it. But like, do you see a scenario where now you have heroes that are trained to do the trading quest, where you stop them at exactly 50?
Yeah.
So that they can max out the training quest.
Wait, is 50 the cutoff? I didn't know that was the cutoff.
50 is the cutoff. I don't know if it's 49. Actually, it might. I think it's 50, but above that, you can't do that stat. So, like,
I know my priest.
There's a scenario.
Yeah.
Because it's just way too high. That was
too high. Yeah.
Doesn't Be Easy have you beat? Or is
no? Well, he's got somebody at level 12 at 61.
And yours is
level 15, and he's at 70. So if he hits 3 on each of his level ups and again gets any rarity, he's got me.
Easy. You got to stop leveling that thing right now and wait for this. Wait for this to come out so that you can make sure that rarity boost, because the rarity boost is where I see the reroll level being the most.
Oh my god! Well, and did you notice? I think this was in it. It's more expensive. Like level 5s, level 10s, level 50s.
Yeah, no,
like have an upcharge to do it, which I'm like, sure, great, I'm fine with that.
Do you know how many times I've gotten mythic rarity and it's like a warrior and it's
the wrong
4
one.
on whiz, 3 on int, and it's like, well, that sucks, you know? Yeah.
No, yeah. So this is super fun. I love this. I think more of this is what that'd be my note to the team there.
Yeah, and here's the level up reroll, as you were saying, every
right. Yeah.
An additional rarity cost.
Yeah.
And this is shown here. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how much divine essence really gets out there, and like again, I don't know that I'm going to be spending any divine, like what was it? It was 1 divine essence to upgrade a lesser crystal to a regular.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's only 5 for a mythic. Like, I just feel like there are going to be better ways to use it. But it's day 1, and that could be totally wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
In a month, we could be saying the opposite, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm very excited for Divine Essence to go live, but none of these things are live, and then just collect a Divine Essence like pot. Like, I'd be very happy with that. Like, I'd love to undershoot this, and the market, because again, this is tradable. I'm assuming tradable day 1. I hope so, but like, I feel like people are be like, well, I can't use it right now, and I'm like, I'm gonna collect it. Like, you know.
I'm in the other camp. I don't like that we can't use void charge yet.
I know, but
on those pages.
Void cards, you can't move them. You can't do anything.
How about this? Can we propose a trade-in system for pages? You trade in a full set of pages, you get a divine essence. If we're talking about items that are out there but we can't use yet.
I feel like the team shuts down any pages conversation whatsoever.
Yeah, they shut it down hard. They shut it down in a big way, like a year ago.
They're just like, oh, pages, screw you. I'm like, wait, what? Like,
it definitely gets to them a little bit.
Well, I mean, they gotta. I don't know. Whatever.
Anyways.
What else? All right. All right. I do want to talk about this equipment restoration. There's not much. Look at B being a little jerk in chat. Okay. Equipment restoration requires greater, which also makes greater like even better. And I get it, but something they said was that when equipment is low on duration, I don't know the exact terms because I feel like they're still up in the air. Like durability, number of repairs, amount of durability. Like I don't know how that's all going to work, but they did say that there's a new term called equipment dust, that you could just dust, quote unquote, your equipment, and that dust will then have value for either repairing other equipment, buying things, whatever it may be. They also didn't really give a lot of details on it because it's not very important for this update, but it is just something they mentioned, which I feel like was some huge alpha about crafting in general. And it did get me excited. I think other games have had systems like this where you just kind of like, and it's like, I know Hearthstone uses the exact same term. They call it dust. When you burn a card, they give you dust, and then dust you can use to create other cards.
Were we on to equipment? I got a work email and I stopped paying attention there.
You got a work email right now? That sucks. Why?
Yeah. No, it was a good one.
Oh.
But.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I don't know. The only note I have from this is, what are your thoughts on their mention of this equipment dust and potentially this whole system?
Yeah, it's so at first I thought I was going to hate this. Yeah. The idea of and this is something else. Barovia got a lot of wins today, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he got a lot of wins.
Yeah.
It's it complained to earn or complained to win.
Oh, come on. Don't do that.
He got a lot of wins today. But anyway, at first I was like, this is bullshit. Scally's eyes, Excalibur's, you can just keep, but the increased cost.
It's expensive.
And the fact that I think these greater DEs, what are they again? What are they called? Divine Essence, these greater Divine Essences are going to be very rare, going to be very pricey. I'm completely fine with this. It has a limit or a price kind of ceiling where
we just keep doing it, man. We just talked about how valuable re-rolling level ups, resetting your hero. I think those are probably the most valuable ways you could use this Divine Essence. You want to spend it on equipment? I'm like, and at this price, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think well, obviously there's still so much to deal with equipment that it's hard to kind of even have a hot take on this right now because we don't know so much about it right now. We don't know how durability or how repairing works. Whether this price is high or low, we don't really know right now. I think it's cool that this is an option. I love it. I don't know. I think it's more incentive to burn heroes, which is great in general, but I don't know.
No, Tad got a win here too. He's got some nice pieces of equipment.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
There were a few times where I saw a nice piece and it was while I was sleeping or something, or I was away, and I knew when it was on the market. I'm like, I know Tad has it.
I saw multiple. He was on multiple different Discords being like, "Hey, I'm buying equipment," and just sending that message out there,
willing to buy.
Yeah, exactly. So anybody who's a big equipment person, this is a huge win in my opinion.
We need some more equipment. I'm bored with feather dusters. And
in general, yes.
The axe still excites me.
The axe
and the bug.
Can I keep the axe you gave me, by the way?
Yeah, I kind of forgot I gave that to you.
I shouldn't have mentioned it then.
I gave you it was my least. I don't think it was very
Keep it forever. It makes Warriors so much more fun.
Hey, listen, NFTs ownership. What can I do?
I know.
A wrench
attack. It's mine now, right?
Besides that, it's yours.
This opens up a conversation for another podcast of trash items, low quality items being added and then being able to dust low quality items. I think I'm super excited for that. I'm super excited for in general for the ecosystem and a marketplace for equipment in general. I think right now I feel like it's very limited because there are just a finite number of things. So it's kind of hard to value and really see how it's going to play out. Cause it's there's this one sword, there's only 5 of them or whatever. Or I guess it's it's 10 at this point, of the sword.
Excalibur?
Yeah.
There were 16 a few weeks ago. I think it's in the 20s.
Whatever. Yeah. But that's such a finite amount that obviously the value of those is through the roof. And it's hard to judge how the actual is going to be.
Look at pants though. Pants have come down a lot.
Right.
Excalibur will too. I mean, they'll get out there in the ecosystem. I'm not worried about that. But I want more. They talked a little bit during the AMA last week about the basic item shop or the guild item shop, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of assuming that's going to be purchasable with gold.
And they're just level because we talked about this.
Crappy weapons, yeah.
The guild and I will shout out Dag's Jeweler's Pod. He talked about this for a long time of having trash items. So right now the guild items that we have are all level 10 base. So they're not trash items. They're level 10. They're kind of basic for level 10, but I'm ready for literal level 1 items that are just bullshit. And you collect 100 of them, and you're just all right. I'll dust all of them and get a percent. I'll get whatever percentage, small amount from that because I just grinded through bullshit enemies for 2 days or whatever. I'm ready for that. That's the kind of RPG I'm into. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, it's. I think we're going off on a bit of a tangent here.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I wish there were crappy axes, like broken axe or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Rusty,
like absolute
rusty
shit.
nail.
But,
Yeah.
But I got it every third void hunt.
Exactly.
Like if they made it the same drop rate as those bunny ears that we all have
right.
You know, something like that.
No, I agree. I'm excited for equipment. I'm ready for it to happen. And again, something we talked about earlier in the beginning of the podcast, the fact that he's already saying terms like dust, like equipment dust, and repair count, restore count, all this stuff, like they seem like they're moving along with equipment. So that's good stuff. Again, it's way far out still. I mean, our earlier timeline we were talking about, like equipment's going to be not even on the radar, I think. So, final one note that all right. So after at the end here, he gives like a ton of math, and I don't even want to talk about it. Like he does the actual numbers for hero score. I don't want to touch this right now. It makes no sense to me. It's a foreign language. But there was one on the next slide, I think.
We can't do basic like level up math.
Yeah, no, I can't.
There's way.
I'm not going to talk about this. There's one. If you can get the next slide. Yes, right there at the bottom note there, the bottom little.
Okay, that's helpful.
The divine essence to the greater divine essence ratio. Generally, the average ratio is going to be 16-1. So greater divine essence is going to be harder to come by. It's going to be less. So I think that's just something to keep in mind, because if you go back and review, there's a bunch of things where they're like, you can only do this with greater, or you could do this with divine. So I think that's interesting. I really like that. I want it to be kind of like the superior, or like, the elite version of it. So I'm very good with that ratio. But
there's no adding together divine essence to get greater divine essence, right?
No, that was never suggested. I mean, that might be a good AMA. I don't think so, but I think they're going to be separate things completely. Like,
I'm fine with that. I was just wondering if I missed something. Oh, hey, Guy's here. Hey, Guy.
Oh, hey, Guy Kid. Here you go.
Guy, who is part of this podcast, though you wouldn't know it.
Hey, leave him alone. That's rude. That's very rude to do that live on air.
Sorry, I forgot he was the first person in the world to ever have kids. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Sorry, I'm towards the end of my beer. I'm getting a little...
You're on beer number 1? I'm on like 4 at this point. Anyways.
Well, never mind. Whatever.
At the end, I will say every shout out. Go check it out and listen. Bolon kind of talks about some stuff at the end that I think is really interesting about why they're sharing this information and how they want to be part of the community, and it's just an interesting conversation. So I really recommend everyone listening to the very, very end, because they say some kind of poignant things at the end about how they don't want to surprise the community with this. That's why they're kind of sharing it now, is because like this is a big feature about hero burn mechanism. So I recommend listening all the way through is what I would say. I don't have any comments on that. I just want to give a shout out to Bolon for doing that, because I think it was good.
I think I still think that, and Bolon and Hubert both think that the hero cooldown vote is still very important. Let's not let what just took place, like what we all just saw, make us think that it's not. Let's get that vote passed. I personally think that it's very important, and I want to see hero prices go up to the point where all of these things have
making
value.
Money.
So NFTs make money. Laser sounds.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my Dark Summon quick, and then
Well, I want to say this. I wrote down 3 things in my notes as fun alpha that was separate from kind of everything they said. The first one is the distinction between Dark Summon and regular summoned. They're going to be going into 2 separate burn wallets, and that there's a chance it will not be the last we see of those heroes, which I thought was a super fun note of just an idea that Bolon specifically has played out of, like, what if burned heroes come back as zombies? Super fun. I love it. I hope that is included in the game. It sounds like Hubert is at least thinking about it, where they're putting these heroes in different wallets. We already talked about this at length. It was equipment dust. I think that was very interesting. It was kind of a sneak peek into what they're thinking about for equipment. I thought that was interesting. I loved it. And then finally, something we didn't touch on. I should have talked about this earlier, and I apologize. They made a note about this in the very beginning. There's a chance that Divine Essence can be used to avoid permanent hero death, which means they're thinking about either dungeons, PvE, something where your hero permanently dies, and then maybe you have a safeguard of like some divine essence that like saves them from that permanent death. And I was like, oh shit, that is super cool. I'm glad they're thinking about that. That's super fun in my mind.
Yeah, I think the term that was used, or the phrase, Bolan said, sacrificing the infantry to save the knight.
Yeah.
But I think, and I think you were kind of said this, but the idea of losing our best heroes, we just wouldn't use our best heroes in anything like that. The fact that this opens up an avenue to save them from death, get them back from death, however it ends up working out, like it makes it a lot more fun. It makes those death kind of quests something where we're going to be able to throw our best at.
Well, and also too, the idea that you get, and just lore wise, not like gameplay wise, but lore wise, you get divine essence by killing a hero. So like this hero died, so that therefore your good hero can survive whatever mission they're on.
Died so the other can live.
There you go. I love it. It's just beautiful.
All right. Speaking of killing heroes,
let's do it.
All right. So I've been waiting for a little while with this one because I've been waiting for this guy to get to level 10. They're just rares.
Okay.
But it's a Dark Knight Ninja and a Dark Knight.
Oh, with the matching sub.
So we're going for a Dark Knight Sage, and then it also has a chance at Resurrection.
Damn.
Resurrection. Wait, let me go down here. Aaron, get your light screen comments out now. Oh, he doesn't use dark screen. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Right.
Unbelievable.
It doesn't.
So we're going for Second Wind. We're going for Resurrection. Hope you get a little leadership, but I'd actually prefer double clutch.
Double clutch would be nice.
Double clutch, Resurrection, Second Wind. Let's do it.
You hit on this guy. This guy's going to be a Dark Knight Sage at rare at a minimum.
Oh, do they have any summons?
Going back to what we were just talking about, this could be somebody who gets the 5x multiplier.
No, so here's my question, right? Because I have both greater stones. Would you go Vigor? Because it's a Dark Knight, it's tanky. There's a chance that it's a Paladin. Just Vigor, HP, always good, right? Yeah. Or do you really lean in to the fact that there's a There's a 45% chance, so almost a 50% chance that it's a magical class sub. Dark Knight uses that intelligence itself. Do I go for the intelligence?
Here's the thing. I was gonna say, let's say it misses on the subclass. Intelligence is still good for Dark Knight. Like, I don't hate that.
Well, I mean, but so is Vigor. So is his Vitality.
Yeah, but I feel like a Dark Knight with crazy intelligence is more unique than a Dark Knight with it's
just more fun.
Yeah, but also answer my question though.
What'd you say?
The new burn mechanic we just saw. This guy might be one of those unique guys that hits the multiplier at 5x.
Yeah, that's like 2 years away. I'm gonna start playing.
Oh my God.
I'm having fun here. Having fun.
God.
What are we talking about here? Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll worry about that when Expedition Editions come out. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. No, it was a very bullish day. I had to throw a little salt in there at the end.
Yeah, this is super exciting. I love it. Shout out to the community event that is happening soon. We will talk about it in a podcast soon.
By the way, I tried to get Vitality to be the top stat for both these guys.
Didn't happen.
And strength just ran away with it. Yeah. Like, there's only so much you can do sometimes.
Yeah.
Going here. Nothing there. Guy giving me some good vibes here. 10% warrior, no intelligence. Thank you.
Thanks, Guy. Glad you tuned in.
I deserve that. I made some mean comments about his children before, so.
Did he hear those?
I don't know. We'll see. All right.
All right, here we go.
Let's get a little purple in the house, huh?
Should we play the? Should we play a song?
Do they? Is that what they do? Let's generate an AI song for this.
If this, easy. Come on.
I'm telling you, the beer is taking the wheel.
We're already in the crosshairs. We don't need more.
Yeah, we're already public enemy #1 over here. Yeah, Renpen, Boggy vibes.
There we go. That's what I like to see. Actually, Renpen, shout out to Renpen. She posted a ton of summaries, and they put them on general chat in a Discord of the thing today. So shout out to her for doing that. It was awesome.
That's good because it was long. I was worried.
Very long. Yeah.
I was leaving work. We're an hour earlier than usual. Yeah. I was like, there's a chance I just don't know what I'm talking about when I get on stream.
Yeah. So she did a ton of the synopsises. What's the plural there?
Synopsi?
I think it's synopsi. You're right. Yeah. What is it?
Yeah, we got the Dark Knight.
All right. Very good. Let's see that. Sage sub is what we're looking for, right? And then orange.
All right. We got Summoner.
So the Intelligence Stone. I love it. All
right. Now here's. Okay. We got the Blue Vit.
Blue Vit. You wanted that. Yeah.
I kind of want Blue Strength, but that's fine.
Endurance is nice on the
Intelligence 42%.
Woo! That's sweet.
Double clutch and second one.
That's okay. That's great.
We'll take it. I can't believe I didn't get any. Oh no, that was a.
It was supposed to be basic. Yeah, it was supposed to be resurrect, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All double clutch,
second win, double clutch.
Yeah.
So I could burn this. Run it again with what?
No.
Whoa.
Stop. That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, I like this guy.
You're talking crazy.
What do we get in the recessive? Stuns in the recessive.
Ooh, wait, is that the same? That's the one that was the yeah. Oh, that's kind of nice. That same.
No, I like this. I like this a lot.
That's a good hit.
It's a rare. Oh, that's the other thing this is definitely for another night, but yeah, I'm kind of accumulating all rarities. Like there are going to be tournaments. There are going to be tournaments that are no mythics. There are going to be tournaments that are just uncommons or lower. Like there are going to be tournaments of all different kinds.
By the way, it's clear at my house. Is that a thunderstorm that we just heard in your microphone? That microphone picks it all up, huh?
Picks it all up. Awesome. Great purchase. Never gave me any issues. So like I want some good rares. I want some good. Right. I have an uncommon archer and a common archer that are both regular stone. But
even with this stuff today, like they showed like there's equal but different or what's the separate but equal of regular summon versus dark summon. Like they are going to have these kind of different things for the differences between the heroes. So I do agree with you.
And I can't wait to see the saltiness in the community the first time they do a restriction tournament.
Yeah. Uncommons only. Oh my god!
I have all these people that are like, but I have one team and I only have this type. This is bullshit.
There's gonna be a community in our community. There's one group of people in our community that are gonna be really upset about that. But yeah, I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
I think that's
good. Should I give away a summon?
I mean, when you say it like that, I feel like I have to say yes, but I was going to sign off.
Real quick, and then we should sign off because it's 9:20 already.
Yeah. Office Hours with Styx Intern is coming on soon after us. He might even be live. He might even be live right now.
How do you get the screen off?
I don't know. Guy Kid usually controls all this.
What is it? StreamYard giveaway tool. All right. What should we put in the chat? Oh, that's not right.
I don't know.
Just pick a word.
Burn mechanic. So lame.
So it's hashtag burn.
Yeah, hashtag burn.
Yeah. Burn.
Hashtag burn.
Everyone can spell mechanic. And you could start it now. And Maddie's the first one in.
Yes. Excellent.
Without fail. Actually, we need a Franz keeps it in there.
Oh, definitely need a Franz keeps it in there.
This is just for a 10 of 10. This is not for that Dark Knight Summer, just to be clear.
No, this is for a brand new 10 of 10 Gen 1. Which hypothetically, if the changes go in for the Gen 0s, Gen 1 prices are going to skyrocket, right?
That's why I have all these. I did get bored last weekend and crack like 10 of them.
What do you mean?
There's nothing good in there. The eggs that I have sitting here.
Like you had a build up and you're just waiting to, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've shown off the build up. I have like 30 sitting here.
That's ridiculous. Why not just do them? Who cares?
Because then I have to add them all into the bot.
I'm very behind on my bot. I'm a lazy bot reporter, I will say.
I stay up on it.
I feel like I have so many heroes that are like auto questing just because like that's how it is default, which I very much appreciate, but I have not reported them to the bot. They're illegal heroes, basically.
All right,
bad joke. Yeah, I don't want to get into it.
Anybody else? We got 26 watching, only 12 have entered. Hashtag burn to get.
Oh man, Franz keeps it is definitely gonna win. I'm so excited. People probably already jumped to Six Intern. They're probably done with us at this point.
Well, then they lose out. Here we go. We're gonna draw.
We're doing it with 12. Oh, I hope I win. I'm Bogside Chats, by the way. Yes! 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 No! What are you doing?
We're drawing again.
No, that's bullshit. I get it. That's such bullshit. You're going to give it away. Oh, my God.
Workplay Life, WPL. Here we go.
I appeal. Sir, I appeal. I won.
WPL, message me in Discord. I have muted Maddie.
So
I don't know what he's saying, but I can see that he's saying a lot. We're going to message me in Discord and I'll get you.
Watch me mythic, like something amazing. I'm so mad right now. You owe me a 10 of 10.
You got an axe. I gave you an axe.
You did give me an axe.
Call it even. Now you can keep it. How about that? You can officially keep the axe.
Man, smart.
I mean, you definitely won in that. Thief. Uncommon. Thief.
Uncommon warrior.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, hey, I just gave you some future divine excellence. What is it called?
Divine essence.
Divine essence. So, yeah, message me and we will get that over to you. And yeah.
So rude. Force is so rude.
Okay, Ben Force is getting
this has been an episode of Bogside Chats. My name is Matty Pesk for Franz and for Guy Kid, our third member who's never here. We will catch you next week on Tuesday, which is our normal night. This was a special thing. Next week, we'll be back on Tuesday. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Love you guys.